Hey everybody, Arglefump here with the speedrun for Shadow Wolf Mysteries, Curse
I can't believe we're going back to Wolfhill.
The start of the game is a tutorial segment, so it's pretty straightforward. You want to look at three things and get werewolf berries. You look at the tree, you look at the fence, and you look at the Y-cross. For the purposes of the speedrun, you want to finish with the Y-cross, so do the Y-cross last, because once you get all the werewolf berries, you become a werewolf! And because you're a werewolf, you can solve the skeleton puzzle at the Y-cross. So that's why it's fastest to end with the Y-cross. It's because that's where you have the skeleton puzzle to solve. So here on this screen, we've got two things we can look at. We can look at the slide and the toolbox. Really, you only have to look at the toolbox because that gives you the mallet. Use the mallet over here. Now back to the second screen. So that's something which is interesting about this game. The variation. I could have looked at the slide the second time I go to the screen, not the first time. So I can choose the order in which I solve the puzzles. Granted, there's not a huge amount of variation here, because we're at the very beginning of the game, but later on we'll have more variation, we'll have lots of puzzles, and you can solve them in pretty much any order, which is nice. I like that about this game. I like it because if this was a game where there was no variation, you had to solve every puzzle in a very specific order, then that would make for a boring speedrun. But no, there is enough variation in this game to make things interesting for the purposes of a speedrun. And figuring out the order, it's just fun. I don't know, it's something I find interesting and entertaining. And here's something I don't find very entertaining: hidden objects challenges. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know I am just no good at hidden objects challenges. I mean, even like this, when I know where all the items are, I'm still kind of slow. Yeah, I know where everything is, and I'm still kind of slow to solve the puzzle. Anyway, what you saw there was me stopping the game. Whenever I reach a hidden objects challenge, I stop the game and I save the game. I make a save file. I make a copy of the save file right there. So there are 9 different hidden objects challenges in this game, meaning this video is made up of 10 different segments. You know, I started a new segment every time I reached a hidden objects challenge. So each of the segments I played through at least 5 times. And I'll get back to that, but first, let me talk about the skip button in the lower right-hand corner. Oh, wait, I've got some time before I can talk about the skip button. Yes. So I played through each segment about 5 times. The first 2 times was me just trying out the puzzles, figuring out the best order to solve the puzzles in. And by best order, I mean fastest order, the order that requires the least amount of backtracking and moving around among screens. Now for the skip button in the lower right-hand corner. I'm using it to skip this puzzle. You'll notice it takes 5 seconds for the skip button to fill up. So if a puzzle is more than 5 seconds, I skip it. If it's less than 5 seconds, like this puzzle, I solve it the way you're supposed to. And that's how it's going to work for this entire speedrun. Shorter puzzles, I'm just going to solve normally. Faster puzzles, I am going to completely skip them. Because we're at the start of the game, we have more shorter puzzles here. Towards the end, we're just going to have nothing but long puzzles, and then I'll just be skipping everything. So
Long ago,
Wolfhill
was run by the Miller family. Their mill provided.
I'm gonna misclick here.
The family hit a terrible curse that came to life when the full moon rose.
And it's going to happen again over here. I'm gonna mess up on clicking.
One day, they invited the druid to their home. He could use magic trinkets to make a cure.
On the necklace. So,
The druid's price was high, but the millers were willing to pay anything.
I played through each segment, all segments 5 times. The first 2 times
the
were just practice,
quickly
prep
became
work,
used to
figuring
the
out the
new
route.
customs.
The next 3 times were me actually speedrunning the segment, me trying to
During
get
every
through as
autumn
quickly as
equinox
possible.
at
I
midnight,
just recorded
the
myself
temple would
playing
host
it,
a celebration.
as quickly as possible. So, basically, what you're seeing right now is the fastest of my attempts. Like I said, I tried each segment at least 3 times, and sometimes if I screwed up really, really badly, I would do more than 3 times. I'd do 4
You'll
or
have
5.
the honor of hosting your
The
child's
segment was ridiculously complicated, and I ended up having to do it like 7 times. Anyway, so because I played each segment multiple times, this finished video is just all of my fastest segments put together. So sometimes I was fastest on my first try, not always, but sometimes, and sometimes, you know, my fastest time included minor mistakes, like there were with that book puzzle. Usually, though, I think my fastest time for any particular segment is the one where I do the hidden objects challenge as quickly as possible. Because hidden objects challenges just tend to take me a long time. There's also some inventory management with this game. I've got a lot of inventory. So that's good for the purposes of a speedrun, I suppose, to get all the items, you know, in one trip. That's good. That way I don't have to take as many trips, but it's also bad because I've got a lot of junk in my inventory to mess around with and play around with. And so, you know, I try to do little skips in order to avoid having to have inventory problems. Which, I'm not sure if it's 100% apparent, but that's what I'm doing here with the spider puzzle. Doing things specifically in order, so you'll notice the lower left-hand thing in my inventory is the spider eyes. So that way I don't have to scroll through my inventory to get the spider eyes. I can grab them now while they're on my inventory. They haven't been kicked out of my inventory by all of the various items I've gotten. Does that make sense? I'm just saying, sometimes in this game, because you've got a lot of different items in your inventory, sometimes you might have to scroll through your inventory, and I made an effort to minimize that.
The day
Alrighty, and now I'm gonna get more werewolf powers. My werewolf strength, yay! Cousin Neil's being electrocuted, I'm just gonna ignore him here. Open the Iron Maiden for a coat of arms.
It's almost midnight.
Because that guy is the villain of the game, obviously. He is the druid. He has some sort of vendetta against our family for some reason. And as we'll find out, he is actually trying to create werewolves rather than actually cure people of the werewolf disease. The cure for the disease is pretty simple, actually. You just take those werewolf berries that we keep finding. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna skip this puzzle here. And now I have all of the inventory items so I can actually solve this puzzle. It requires you to have all 4 of those items together. This is another puzzle. Unfortunately, you cannot grab the key on the first time around. When it's going left and right, the game will just not let you do that. Set this on fire, and things are getting pretty straightforward at this point in the game because we're going to switch places pretty soon. So that's why the puzzle's kind of slowed down. If you noticed, maybe you didn't. This is kind of a tricky puzzle because I can't interact with something while one of these little animations is playing. So I kind of have to start an animation and then wait for it to finish before I can actually do something. I'm trying to build a little key
Good.
Good, and now we're in the cutscene. Uh-oh, no, the druid is back, and he just locked us in his prison. Oh dear. Well, fortunately, we've escaped. Take a look at the upper right-hand corner with those newspapers. Notice how the newspapers come back for the scene, and now they're gone again. The game did not expect me to open up those newspapers until after that scene. So I guess I was doing pick up. So right there was an example of something which happened a lot in the speedrun, is whenever you've got werewolf berries or items on the screen, you need to grab them before. You know, that needs to be the first thing you can pick up, is the werewolf berries. If there are werewolf berries, that's got to be the first thing for you to pick up. So, I mean, it's not like a huge, super huge, crazy deal, which is really, really difficult to get around. But it's something that I often screwed up because, you know, I was trying to get cool items and the game's like, whoa, 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 werewolf berries first, sir. Werewolf berries first. Werewolf berries are always first. Okay, and now I'm gonna grab a bunch of items, go back to my cell here, crowbar it. Can't open this, so I get werewolf sight again. Paper here, there, and another puzzle we can solve legitimately. Me acid, and this is going to be a trick I wish I could have used more often in this speedrun. Alas, I did not, so skip. I just ended the game while that animation was playing, and when I reload the game, the animation is finished. So that saves me about 5 seconds. It's kind of a slow animation of all the stuff flowing down the river to the bottom of the screen. Alright, so this is a hidden objects challenge. This is a really, really simple segment, actually. It's basically hidden objects challenge. Then this, then I'm gonna go into town, do a couple of things there, and then just come right back here for a second hidden objects challenge. Okay, cut this here. I think I might have an inventory problem with the tape. Yeah, that happened right there, where the game thinks that I you know, did not click on the hammer when I totally 100% clicked on that hammer game. But alas, that's not the case. So now I'm going to use the map to warp back to the prison cell, and this is an interesting feature. The map, I haven't really used it. That's the first time I use it. But basically, if you have to move more than 2 screens, like if you have to move 3 screens away, it's always faster just to use the map. Because as you saw, the map is it allows you to travel long distances very, very quickly. So I'll use that a couple of times throughout the speedrun, and now hidden objects. This segment is actually pretty easy too. It's just this puzzle, which will allow me to get a package, and then I'll go straight to the house, which will be on fire, and just go to the backside of the house and do stuff there. So yeah, most of the segment is just getting the fishing rod, and then I'm gonna use the fishing rod to get this present. Aw, man, missed on first try. Darn. Cousin Neil, he basically sent us to get Dad's fancy map, and that's what we're doing now that we've gotten all the items necessary for this puzzle, which we got in the previous segment. Maybe we give this to Uncle, I mean Cousin Neil, not our uncle. I go to the backyard, pick up some items here. Smash this, pick up these things. Didn't mean to click on the front door accidentally, and the shed has a hidden objects challenge. So these short short segments, I like these short segments because they're really hard to screw up. This one was really easy to screw up, actually. This was one of the segments that I had to play through like 7 or 8 times in order to get right. Because this hidden object screen is just mean. Specifically with this axe, you have to do everything in a very specific order, and you can't do anything else while the axe cutscenes are playing. So you actually have to put the handle down, then you have to get it in place, then you have to look at the sharpener, then you have to use the axe head on the sharpener, then you have to use the axe head on the axe, then you have to undo the axe.
Help me!
So that right there, you heard me, 5 or 6 different steps for that one puzzle. Ugh. Okay, here I grab the clock hands. The clock hand there. Fortunately, those items are far enough apart, so I don't actually have to observe the berries always come first roll. This puzzle I'm just going to skip. And I accidentally clicked on the hint button. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. Get rid of this. Use my werewolf strength. Smash, smash, smash. Well, on casual mode, it is possible to solve that puzzle under 5 seconds.
Thank you.
I don't know why the game decided to reset the difficulty from casual mode to advanced mode, but it did. So I had to set the difficulty back to casual mode in order to solve that puzzle, and now we've got another hidden objects challenge, and another short segment, the last of the short segments of the game. I like this. This is a very straightforward hidden objects challenge. You can solve it very, very quickly. I like it. You can relatively just, as you see what I'm doing, I'm just moving in a clockwise manner around the room. Okay, windmill thing over here. This is purposeful. In this room, we have like 5 or 6 things that we can look at, and I'm purposely looking at them in a specific order, whereas in most of the other rooms, you know, when I had multiple things to look at, the order did not matter so much. Here I solved the puzzle with that one portrait, while the little animation of the stairs coming down is playing. Minor time saver, skipping that animation. There's another example of you must absolutely look at the, you must absolutely pick up werewolf berries first before you're able to pick up that long hook thing. That gives us the oval key. We're going back here. And this looks very straightforward, but figuring out the ideal order for this puzzle is just kind of difficult because, you know, we have 4 or so screens where there are lots of different items to interact with. So this is not as easy as it looks, but finishing the segment was pretty simple to figure out because it has to end with you going underneath the windmill and learning your new werewolf power, which is talking to werewolves. We got to talk to the wolf, which is actually our mother. Oh my gosh! Craziness, right? Yeah, that wolf was Mom. I still find it strange Mom isn't mentioned at any other point in the game, and we don't see her again, but yeah, Mom was a werewolf, and she's secretly trying to help us all along. Actually, I don't know if Mom was a werewolf or she was just transformed into a wolf. I think that was it, actually, transformed into a wolf. Either way, craziness. Very simple hidden objects challenge there, too, mainly because it's split up into 5 different areas.
Oh, it's good to see you, cousin. So, could you help me get
because
out?
it's split up into 5 different areas, you know, I just did every single area separately. Here's me putting the fuel down there because I actually made a mistake. I was supposed to do that in the previous segment, but I forgot. Whoops. Okay, gonna skip this puzzle because it's the last of these puzzles, so they made it the hardest one.
The druid took...
Alright, we get a key card. Gonna use it here for a lucky clover. Gonna use it over here. Also, Dad sets up the, kind of like the final puzzle of the game. He unlocks the final area of the game, anyway. which is past here, past Werewolf Street.
You want me to go? I can see the strength of your will in your eyes.
That was a conversation with this evil werewolf.
To be a strong pack leader. I'll do as you command.
That is the only time I've played this game where I've gotten a conversation with that werewolf. I don't know what I did or where I clicked, but yeah, that werewolf actually talks to you before that puzzle. Funny. I just had no idea. Anyway, that unlocked this new area, which is where I'm going in. Now I'm going to warp all the way back over here, where I've got a bunch of stuff that I can do. Yeah, so basically I went to the new area, I got 3 items which unlocked various puzzles which I could do, like the basement puzzle, I opened up the lockers, wedge puzzle, and lockers, opened up this puzzle. There's a hidden objects challenge there, but I'm not actually going to solve it right now, I'm going to come back to it later. Solve a couple more puzzles here in the mound first. That is tricky, it just really requires you to click in a very specific area. There I use the hint button to navigate my inventory as opposed to manually clicking left and right through the inventory. Minor time saver. And I have everything, so I can solve the kind of largest puzzle. Kind of large. You'll see my inventory is just going to shrink from having 15 items to like having 3. Yep, now I've got 3 or 4 items in my inventory. The one item does not count. The wallet, which we got at the very start of the game, that wallet we got from Cousin Neil. What you're supposed to do is look at the driver's license in the wallet, but turns out you can skip that. And this is the only inventory item where you don't actually have to solve the entire item, you can only just do part of it. Only inventory item for which that is the case. So it's just gonna stick in my sit in my inventory for the entire game. Just because of its weirdness there as an item. That doesn't need to be 100% completed. So now I go back to and now I do the hidden objects challenge. Not because now is a specific like great time to solve the hidden objects challenge, but it kind of it splits the final segment neatly in half. So you know, instead of doing a 2-minute video and then a 6-minute video, I just kind of split it in half. So it's like a 4-minute segment and a 4-minute segment. That was all my thought process there. And here's the Druid's Diary. That was inventory management. If I picked up a different item, the wolf head would have been knocked off screen. And so I would have had to scroll through my inventory to pick it up. And I couldn't have used the hint button to skip directly to that item, like I did earlier with the telescope, because if I tried that, the hint button would say, oh, you need to look at the diary. So it would not go straight to the wolf head. So with this particular challenge, the second book challenge, you'll notice there's like a pause. 1 100, 2 100, 3 100, 4 100, 5 100. Like, 5-second pause in between challenges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I don't know why there's a pause in between all the challenges, but there's no way around it. You just have to sit tight and wait. Okay, grab these items from there. Using this one here. Giving Dad
amazing
this thing in return for what is legitimately the final puzzle of the game. Well, not legitimately the final puzzle, but sort of like the final challenge, maybe. I don't know. I am babbling. Okay, so basically what we're doing now is Dad gave us a recipe which requires 6 ingredients, and so this is going to be the challenge. I've got most of the ingredients right now, actually. But it feels like an ending challenge because, hey, it's a really long recipe challenge. And again, this is a challenge where you have to wait in between everything. So I have to wait like a second in order to interact with these items. Because if you click too early, then the game doesn't accept it and will just throw the item back into your inventory saying, hey, you wasted that item. So that's why I'm doing this slow. It is on purpose. I don't know why I say in my mind that is like the end game challenge, when really the end game challenge is going to be a werewolf power puzzle, which is kind of sweet actually. Werewolf power puzzle. So it's basically well, it's basically a skip button. So that's why I don't really think of this as the ending challenge, because I'm gonna skip most of it. Whereas I actually did solve the ingredients puzzle. So skip this.
No! I just need to realize.
Skip this. Then I press all the buttons, and then I'll do the maze puzzle one more time.
You won't win.
It says you won't win, and of course, I just won the game. So we knock off this guy's mask to reveal that the culprit is a person we've never seen before. That's it for the speedrun. Thanks for watching, everybody.